I used to go there quite a bit. Oh, years ago now, but I stopped. I used to like that place. Spent quite a bit of time in there. That was before I went away. Just before. I think that place had a lot to do with it. They were all a good bit older than me, but they always used to listen. I thought they understood what I said. I mean, I used to talk to them. I talked too much. That was my mistake. The same in the factory, standing there or in the breaks. I used to talk about things, and these men, they always used to listen whenever I had things to say. It was all right. The trouble was, I used to have kind of hallucinations. They weren't hallucinations. I used to get the feeling I could see things very clearly. Everything was so clear. Everything used to get very quiet. Everything got very quiet. All this quiet and this clear sight. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. Anyway, someone must have said something. I didn't know anything about it, and some kind of lie must have gone around. And this lie went around, and I thought people started being funny. In that cafe, in the factory, I couldn't understand it. Then one day they took me to a hospital right outside London. They got me there. I didn't want to go. I tried to get out quite a few times, but it wasn't very easy. They asked me questions in there. Caught me in and asked me questions. Well, I told them whenever they wanted to know what my thoughts were. Then one day, this man, doctor, I suppose, the head one, he was a man of quite a distinction. Although I wasn't so sure about it, he called me in and he said, he told me that I had something. He said they'd concluded their examination. That's what he said. And he showed me a pile of papers and he said, you got something, some complaint, he said. He just said that, you see, you got this thing and that's your complaint. And he said, we've decided that in your interest, there's only one course we can take. He said, I can't exactly remember how he put it. Oh, he said, we're going to do something to your brain. He said, and if you don't, you're going to be in here for the rest of your life. But if we do, you stand a chance. You can go out, he said, and live like the others. What do you want to do to my brain? I said to him, but he just repeated what he'd said. Well, I wasn't a fool. I knew I was a minor. I knew he had to get permission. He couldn't do anything to me without getting permission from my mother. So I wrote to her and told her what they were trying to do. But she signed the form, you see, giving them permission. I know this because he showed me her signature when I brought it up. Well, that night I tried to escape. That night I tried to escape, and I spent 5 hours sewing at one of the bars on the window in this ward right throughout the dark. They used to shine torch over the beds every half hour, so I timed it just right, and then it was nearly done. And then a man had a fit right next to me, and they caught me. Anyway, about a week later, they started to come round and do this thing to the brain. We were all supposed to have it done in this ward. They used to come around and do it one at a time, one a night, and I was one of the last one, and I could see quite clearly what they did to the others. They used to come around with these, I don't know what they were. They looked like big pincers with wires on. It was electric. The wire was attached to a little machine. He used to hold the man down, and this the chief doctor, he used to fit those pincers, something like earphones. He used to fit those pincers on either side of the skull. There was a man holding the machine, you see, and he'd turn it on, and the chief would just press these pincers on either side of the skull and just keep them there, and then he'd take them off. They'd cover the man up and wouldn't touch him again until later. Some of them used to put up a fight, but most of them didn't. They just lay there. They were coming round to me, and the night they came for me, I got up and stood against the wall. They told me to get on the bed, and I knew they had to get me on the bed, because if they did it while I was standing up, they might break my spine. So I stood up, and then one or two of them came for me. Well, I was younger then. I was much stronger than I am now. I was quite strong then. So I laid one of them out and had another one round the throat, when suddenly this chief had this pincers on my skull. And I know he wasn't supposed to do it because I was standing up, and that's why But he did it. Anyway, he did it. I did get out. I got out of the place, but I couldn't walk very well. I don't think my spine was damaged. It was perfectly all right. The trouble was my thoughts had become very slow. I couldn't think at all. I could never quite get them together. I could never get my thoughts together. The trouble was I couldn't hear what people were saying. I couldn't look to the right or to the left. I had to look straight in front of me, because if I turned my head round, I couldn't keep upright. And I had these headaches. I used to sit in my room. That was when I lived with my mother and my brother. He was younger than me, and I laid everything out in order. All the things I knew were mine, but I didn't die. The thing is, I should have been dead, but I didn't die. Anyway, I feel much better now. But I don't talk to people now. I stay clear of places like that cafe. I never go into them now. I don't talk to anyone like that. I've often thought of going back and trying to find that man who did that to me. But I want to do some things first. I want to build that shed out in the garden.